else is there to do to get rid of Gordon?
Kneecap him.
I don't think that would help.
I don't think it would either.
My name is KJ, and you're listening to the Supernatural Opinions podcast, where some things in this world are supernatural. My pronouns are she, they, and this is the podcast where I talk to my fellow Supernatural fans about Supernatural, and we share our Supernatural opinions.
Today I am being joined by my guests, Meredith, Audrey, and Francis. Meredith, remind everyone who you are.
Hello, I'm Meredith. My pronouns are she and her.
Audrey, you were just here with us a couple of episodes ago, but please remind everyone who you are.
I'm Audrey. My personality is being defined by being Meredith's older sister, so we'll just continue running with that. My pronouns are she, her.
Yes, she came 4 years earlier, but that's all she is. She's just my sister.
Absolutely. I was kind of just on hold until Meredith was born.
Oh, thank goodness I can be a person now.
And Francis, you haven't been here with us in quite a while, so please remind everyone who you are.
Yeah, my name is Francis. I go by she, her, and I'm super glad to be back because it has been a minute. And this is my first episode in season 3, so I'm super excited.
This week we are recapping season 3, episode 7, Fresh Blood, which originally aired on November 15th, 2007. That title's a reference to the vampire dying of blood. I think I couldn't find like a movie or anything. I'm sure there is a movie called that. Like that is such an obvious horror movie, slasher movie flick title, but I just didn't find a specific one.
Yeah, it's kind of clever because it's like fresh blood and Gordon turns into like a new vampire.
Yeah.
Just realized that.
This week's episode will contain spoilers for this episode, may reference previous episodes, but will not contain spoilers for later episodes of Supernatural. And this episode was written by Sarah Gamble and directed by Kim Manners. We know Sarah Gamble. She wrote Gordon's first episode a season ago, and she's here again to wrap his story up. We last saw her just a few episodes ago on 302, The Kids Are All Right.
Another episode I had fun with.
Yeah, Kim Manners last directed the episode before that, 301, The Magnificent Seven, which wasn't our favorite, but I think this one might be better. Kind of. Sort of. Better with like a little like asterisk beside it.
Yeah, the jury's out on that one.
In that note, I just combine in that vein and on that note.
You know what? Roll with it. It's yours now.
Yep. Episode ranking. Meredith, what would you like to rate this episode?
I don't know. I like Gordon, so I'll give it a 6. Other than that, it doesn't really stand out.
Yeah, that's fair. Audrey, how about you?
I rated it a 5 because I love Sterling K. Brown, but I didn't really like the rest of the episode.
Valid. Francis, how about you?
Yeah, about the same, like a 5 out of 10. Like, it's a good episode. I'll watch it on repeat every so often, but not my top favorite that I have to watch every single time I watch a season.
Yeah.
I gave this episode 5 out of 10 for forgettability. Even in my planning, I kept skipping from 306 to 308. Like, I just had no memory of this episode at all.
Oh, gosh.
I knew that there was an episode, and it was in season 3 where Gordon got turned into a vampire, and then they killed him. But I had no idea that, like, I had no memory of it being this particular episode, to the point, like, where I, like, turned the episode on and Bela was here, and I was like, when were Bela and Gordon in another episode together besides the first time that we met Bela? Like,
right? I mean, I had that same moment when I was rewatching it earlier.
Yeah, it was weird seeing them interact.
I'm obsessed with Bela, too. Like, it's becoming a real problem. I promise I toned it down from last week.
Yeah, when I was watching it yesterday, and it was at the, end scene where Sam cuts Gordon's head off, and I was like, I don't remember it happening that way. I thought he, had, one of those big, power saws that he used. I didn't remember the barbed wire, and I was like, I thought I knew this episode. Apparently I don't.
I remember the barbed wire.
Just combining everything.
Yeah, go all Jason on him.
Overall, I think 6 out of 10 for this episode. Like, I enjoyed it more than I thought, but, it's so forgettable at the same time.
I did remember the barbed wire. I've discovered that I'm actually very good at remembering creative ways to decapitate people on screen.
We're gonna talk about Sam Winchester and that barbed wire, because the amount of strength required to pull that off is off the charts.
Yeah, wow.
But before we get there, total death count. This week we only saw one human death, because everyone else gets turned into vampires before their demise.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's...
Yeah, Oh.
Sorry, Gordon.
Cooper's the only one who cancels the debt. Bringing our on-screen total to 224, and the on- and off-screen total for this episode was 3. So that total is now 1,394 plus. Let's get into the recap. We start off with Bela, my love.
One of the many.
Yeah, really.
Saying you have very good taste.
Yes, I mean, the Bela thing's getting serious. We have not, at the time of recorded last week's episode, but I've already done my notes for it because I have to keep the stats accurate. And so let me tell you, that's a very Bela heavy episode.
Good thing there's so much water because the thirst is real.
Yes, it was. But Bela is carrying one of those metal briefcases which only ever have money or diamonds in them. Like, those are the two options. If you only buy those so that you can carry around money.
And look classy.
Or if you're in Marvel, it could also have the Tesseract.
Yes,
that
that's
too.
true.
That's true.
That's like Diamond 7.0 though.
I wouldn't count the supernatural universe out of having a Tesseract, so I guess we could just include it.
Anything's possible.
At the very least, there's definitely a lot of crossover fanfiction where they coexist.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Anything is possible in the fanfic universe.
Yes, exactly. But Gordon comes up behind her, and they've apparently never met before, which did surprise me a little bit. But Gordon's reputation precedes him. I also forgot Gordon's last name was Walker, almost solely because of Monster of the Week, because they always refer to Gordon as Gordon Bela.
It's like, oh, that's not his real Christian
I
name.
literally just forgot that he had a last name at all. I just figured like they made up a dumb last name for him because he didn't have one. No, he has one.
Like that, Sterling K. Brown, Gordon B. Lurkin.
Gordon says he got out of prison, but it doesn't seem like he was let out of prison. He just got out, which are two different things.
That sounds about right.
And he says he knows that Bela was just in Massachusetts and she was with the Winchesters, and she's gonna tell him where they went or he's gonna kill her. And she's like, why? Sam Winchester? Gordon then is like, Sam's the Antichrist, and Bela, who has a gun pointed at her, absolutely just goes, I've met Sam Winchester. That guy is not the Antichrist.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Sammy, you would make such a lovely
That
Antichrist.
guy whined at me because I shot him. He's a big old dork, but Gordon's like, the world hangs in the balance. And Bela is like, you're not gonna shoot me. Which is funny, because Jean did that to her and then she shot Sam.
Yeah.
But he's like, okay, I won't shoot you. And he's like, I can give you $3,000. And Bella's like, I don't get out of bed for $3,000. Again, she's a gun pointed at her through this whole conversation. And then she like sees this mojo bag that he's wearing, and it's priceless. And she's like, yep, that's definitely priceless. And if you give it to me, I'll tell you where the Winchesters are. And then she calls up Dean and asks where he's at. And then we go, boom, title card.
Yeah, that whole conversation was very, very classic, Bela. Very classic.
Excellent.
It was. I love it.
I'm actually kind of sad that Gordon's dead, so they can't interact anymore.
I would love to see that dynamic a little more.
Then we see where Sam and Dean are. They are walking through a crime scene where they find a man with his throat ripped out. Unfortunately, he's not done dying yet, or maybe fortunately, because this guy does live. But I was like, I can't imagine just like being somewhere lying like with my throat ripped out. Like that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dean goes ahead after the vampire, and Sam stays behind to help this guy. And then Dean slices his own arm to draw out their vampire friend. And then when she comes in for the bite, he doses her with dead man's blood. But like, she gets like close. Like, she gets a little skinned.
Damn.
I just hate it though whenever they cut their arms. Like, aren't there a lot of nerve endings in there? Like, why does it always have to be the arm?
I explained this on Way with Parents, but I don't think I've explained it over here. It's mostly because of filming reasons, where they can reach and where they can put either like a dye pack, or they like also can paint this stuff on your arm that reacts with like the fake knife and makes fake blood. But those are the easiest spots to put those things.
Would like the back of the arm be more logical?
I don't know. I guess it depends. Like, I have very skinny arms, and I don't have a lot of back with my arm. Like, I have bone.
I get that.
Like, the back of my arm is mostly bone.
Bone and arm hair.
But it probably does have less nerve endings, so I guess it would be worthwhile.
Yeah, it's not quite as sensitive.
I mean, Dean's going for blood volume, I think, at this point. So I guess inside of the arm makes sense. This is such a dumb thing to do. Like, literally, he gets so close to getting his throat ripped out.
Yeah, Dean's I've got a year to live recklessness just gives me so much anxiety in season 3. I'm like, can you not try to kill yourself before your year is up? Like, what are you doing?
Bro.
It's bad. It's really bad. It's very addressed in this episode.
It's kind of just a Tuesday for the Winchesters, if I'm
honestly, yeah.
It's a Tuesday, oh no.
It's a Tuesday, oh my god.
Sam comes by, like, he catches up with him, and he's like, that was, like, a little accidentally on purpose, a little too close. You're kind of acting out suicide, aren't you? Like, that's something good, what you just did there. Like, you got the vampire, but, like, I don't like how you did it.
Shape up, man.
And then Sam and Dean have this vampire tied up, and then all of a sudden I was super excited because I recognized her.
Yeah.
This actress is Mercedes McNab. She is super amazing as a young child, pretty much, as Amanda Buckman in the 1993 Addams Family Values, one of my favorite Addams Family movies.
Yeah.
Forgot she was in that.
But I think more relevant to this episode, she plays Harmony Kendall in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and spin-off Angel, where she plays a mean girl who gets turned into a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to point out that her character in this episode is named Lucy, and that's one of the main characters of Dracula, who gets turned into a vampire.
Also true. Last time that we had a Buffy actress on as a vampire was in Gordon's debut episode, and I had not yet watched Buffy when we got there. That Amber Benson, who plays Tara, and now I've seen both Buffy and Angel all the way through, so progress has been made.
Gosh, character development.
Lucy the vampire says that she took something and now she can't, like, come down, and Sam is like, if you just tell us what happened, we'll let you go. And she explains that she was at a club called Spider, and an older guy, like, she says older guy, and then she says, like, 30. And I'm like, he's gotta be, like, 28 or 29. It's
A child.
As someone who's almost 30, it, like, hurt my soul.
I was just about to say that.
Aw, are you guys old, sweetheart?
Shut up.
No, that's the point. That's the point. We're not old.
He, like, put a few drops of something in her drink, and then the next thing that she knew, she was at his place, and she, like, got really hungry, and she left, and now whatever he put in her drink won't wear off. And I'm like, it will not be wearing off. Sam and Dean do feel really bad for her. Like, they pull each other off to the side, and they go, this really sucks, but we can't cure hers, and she's already killed two and almost a third person. So Sam, like, stays behind, and Dean goes and, like, decapitates her. And, like, Sam, like, cringes. He doesn't want to watch it.
It really does suck, doesn't it?
Sam is not a fan of the decapitation. Like, that is just not something he likes. I think it makes him uncomfy, but he's gonna overcome that by the end of this episode.
Yep.
Although I thought it was kind of amusing that she had just finished telling them that she can hear a heartbeat from half a block away, and then they step half a room away to talk about her. Like, do you really think she can't hear you?
She's tied off. Who cares if she can hear?
Yeah,
It's just, we don't want to see her reaction.
It's the illusion of being alone. The victim that they save is waking up in the hospital, and the worst duo to be here rolls in, Gordon Kubrick. If you forgot who Kubrick is, he's a hunter and friend of Gordon's, and he's the one who has the RV, and he's, like, a super religious fanatic.
The one with the Jesus memorabilia everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, memorabilia.
And he thinks that he's on a mission from God to kill Sam Winchester, even though that is absolutely not who wants Sam Winchester dead. Literally, like, the last person who wants Sam Winchester dead at this point.
Did I already mention that he was on the X-Files once?
I think you might have when we last saw him.
Okay. I still think it's funny that he played a cult leader, and here he's a religious fanatic.
Maybe one leads to the other.
It's like, you got a creepy face, dude. We're gonna use it.
The victim is asked to think really, really hard about who saved him and describe the Winchesters, and the best he could do is one of them was really tall. That's the only description he can manage.
Everyone's tall when you're lying on the ground, though.
You're not wrong.
Apparently, that's, like, good enough for Gordon to be like, okay, yeah, that's definitely them. Sam and Dean save another blonde from being dosed, and they're following the guy, like, they're, like, chasing after the vampire, and they come around the corner, and they're, like, running around the corner, and all of a sudden, like, they look up, and Gordon is just standing there with Kubrick, and he's, like, got a gun. He is out for blood. Like, he wants Sam dead so badly.
He's gonna be out for blood even more later.
Yeah, Dean's plan is to draw them off while Sam runs, which is a stupid plan, because there's no reason for them to chase Dean. Like, they do not give a fuck about killing Dean Winchester. They're there to kill Sam, and Dean will either be collateral damage and get killed in the process, or he won't. Like, those are the options.
In their defense, though, it is a really, really good idea to kill Dean when you kill Sam, because then you'll have Dean to worry about.
But I would not follow Dean if I'm there to kill Sam, and Dean, like, comes running out. Like, I would just let him go running.
Oh, dear.
But they get away. Gordon then gets jumped and beaten up I thought maybe it was someone we didn't know, and then I realized it was the vampire that we just, like, stopped, because he didn't run away very far, but Sam and Dean were sidetracked. He, like, circled back to see why they stopped chasing him or something. And
yes, the vampire who keeps targeting young blondes.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Somebody has a type.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Well, he does explain it's more of a father-daughter thing later-ish.
Which, like,
It's still
okay,
weird.
at least you
Still
have your
weird.
own justifications for it, but like you're still roofing young women with their blood.
Well, and it's still weird that they all look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once a Von Trapp family kind of vibe.
Well, he's trying to replace his other daughter who's dead.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, he literally says that at one point.
It's great, sir. You should just give them the vampire talk first and see if they want to be changed.
Sam is back at the motel where he's, like, stacked the mattresses against the windows, like, to defend against Gordon, and he's, like, waiting for Dean. However, Dean just strolls in because Sam stacked the mattresses against the windows, but he didn't lock the door.
I want to make a comment about those mattresses. Why do they have 5 mattresses in one hotel room?
2 of them are probably box springs. Cannot explain the third one.
They stole it from another room.
Yeah, I'm just like, why?
I would absolutely not put that past them.
4 of those have an explanation.
Sam yells at Dean for once again pulling crazy, like, kamikaze bullshit. And then Sam's like, how the hell did Gordon even find us? Like, we're on the run from the FBI. Like, no one is tracking us down. And then Dean's like, thinks for 3 seconds, and then he calls Bela to scream at her for not calling and giving a heads up that she told the psychopath where he was going to be dropping by to kill them. And then Dean promises that the first thing they're going to do if they survive is track her down and kill her. And Bella's more concerned about that than she was when Gordon was standing 2 feet away from her holding a gun. Like, she's more scared of Dean Winchester than she was of Gordon when he was there actively threatening her.
Which is fair, honestly.
Yeah. Gordon is then waking up with the vampires. There's 2 blondes, like, chained up being fed from a mason jar. And this vampire knows all about Gordon Walker. He knows him by name. Gordon's a big part of the reason that vamps are going extinct. He's tied up, but he's still mouthing the fuck off, which is what really seals his fate, because his fate turns quickly from snack to something worse. He says vampires have less humanity than sewer rats, and that convinces this vampire Dixon that instead of feeding Gordon to his blonde daughters, he's gonna turn him into a vampire, which is Gordon's worst nightmare.
Oh no.
And it's about time Gordon gets what's fucking coming to him.
Yeah, it's a very fitting fate for sure.
I want to feel bad, because this is a horrible thing that happens to him, but, like, I just can't.
Yeah,
much like Sam, I have come to the same conclusion as Sam and Dean, where I'm just like, yep, we gotta kill him.
Yeah.
This is what we call poetic justice.
Dean's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to kill him, and he thinks that he's gonna have to talk Sam into that, and Sam's just like, yeah, we're gonna have to kill him. And, like, Dean's like, I thought I was gonna have to fight you, and he kind of, like, does, like, a bad impression of Sam. And I'm like, Sam has done everything. Like, he got Gordon locked up on some pretty serious charges, and Gordon got out of prison. Like, what else is there to do to get rid of Gordon?
Kneecap him.
I don't think that would help.
I don't think it would either.
I think Gordon in a wheelchair would be just as deadly as Gordon not in a wheelchair.
You would modify that wheelchair. You would run people over.
He would modify the frick out of it.
Like, I just don't think there's literally anything else that they can do. I think this is the only solution to solving the Gordon problem.
You should have more hunters in wheelchairs.
Well, I mean, we don't have any yet that we know of, but
Yeah, so I'm distracted by just imagining how that would work, and it's pretty cool.
Meredith, like a rocket wheelchair with climbing feet on it. That would be epic.
I want it.
I know you do.
Bella calls back and is like, I don't like that you're mad at me, so I'm gonna do you a favor so that you're slightly less mad at me and hopefully you won't try and kill me. And I talked to some ghosts and I have Gordon's exact location, but the ghosts told me to tell you to leave town and not go after Gordon and just, like, go, like, just run. But they're Winchester, so obviously they're not gonna heed that advice. But, like, I thought it was interesting that the ghosts were like, don't even, like, leave town, pass go, do not collect anybody, just go.
Winchester are just like, that's not a warning, that is foreshadowing.
Gordon is experiencing some massive sensory overload and overstimulation as he, like, hulks out and gets free. And one of the blonde girls asks him for help, and he helps them all right. Gordon's then out on the street, and he's still experiencing, like, massive overstimulation, and he sees a guy changing a tire, and he, like, tries not to do it, but, like, the teeth come out and he slaughters this guy. So now he's fed, so he's gone. Like, that's it for Gordon. Even if he hadn't already pissed off Sam and Dean, like, so many times when, like, he wasn't out to kill kill Sam, and like they just have to stand down the fact that he then like kills someone, like that's too much. They would have to kill him either way now. Sam and Dean go to the warehouse and they find Dixon and the two blondes. The blondes are dead, and now this guy is like, please kill me. And they don't do it immediately, so he starts going off about how he's facing down eternity alone, and can they think of a worse hell? And I'm surprised we don't have a camera angle on Sam during this speech. Like, this moment's really about Dean, but I'm like, facing down eternity alone, I'm like, that's Sam's whole fear at the moment. Like, that's why Sam's been bitching every episode. Like, he's been, like, just been screaming at each other for, like, 7 episodes now. But we don't have a camera angle on Sam. We're, like, on Dean. Dean also pipes up and goes, like, can I think of a worse hell? Well, there's hell where I'm going.
Yeah, really.
And the guy's just like, I just don't care anymore, and, like, I don't care to the point that it's, like, being done already, so just kill me. And then Sam realizes that the heads were not sliced off. Like, Gordon did not show up and hunt them. Gordon showed up and tore these girls' heads off with his bare hands.
Which is difficult, to say the least.
Yeah, and Sam's like, oh, what did you do to Gordon? Yeah, that's not good. Gordon is vampirized. Kubrick is in his RV by himself, and Gordon shows up and is like, I got turned, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill you. And Gordon's like, okay, yes, kill me, please, but wait until I kill Sam, because I got vampire speed and strength, and Sam Winchester needs to die still. And Kubrick's like, no, Anne, you're a vampire. I can't, like, let you go out anywhere.
I never thought I'd agree with Kubrick on anything, but
Yeah.
he is surprisingly right in this incident, and he does try to do the right thing. He tries to kill Gordon, but Gordon beats him to it, and like he just can't actually help himself at this point. Like, he's not trying to be evil or anything, and he doesn't like drink Kubrick as far as we see. Like, he just can't help killing him.
Yeah, he guts him with his bare hand, which was just
awful.
that was a thing. The blood on his hand looked weird.
it's fake, Audrey.
It looked like jelly. It did. It looked like a jelly glove. It was weird.
Just having a very important conversation over here. Give us a second.
The special effects are a lot. Again, it was 2007.
Okay.
But the motel room is still not locked, and Sam is like, we gotta pull the SIM cards out of our phones and break them so that Gordon can't track our phones. And I'm like, that also means you have to go out and buy phones, but okay.
I really don't think Gordon's in the right frame of mind to be tracking phones right now.
I mean, he kinda is. He kinda does.
Oh gosh, I don't remember that.
Dean wants Sam to, like, stay put while he goes after Gordon by himself. He's like, I got the cold, it's fine. And Sam just goes off on Dean about how the kamikaze thing is getting real old, and Sam wishes Dean would just stop pretending he's not afraid, and he's looked up to Dean and followed him around his entire life, and he knows Dean better than everyone else, and he can tell that he's terrified, and he just wants them to be brothers and not have to do this whole, like, fake not afraid thing just because, like, because they're running out of time to just be together. And he's like, okay, fine, I won't go, we'll stay there together. So they barricade themselves in, and then Dean's new phone that he's had for 2 hours starts ringing, and Sam's like, who the fuck even, you've had this phone for 2 hours, who knows your number? It's Gordon. Calling.
Of course it is.
Gordon's like, yeah, I can't smell you right now because of, like, whatever they did to the room, but he's like, I can smell you all over the phone store, so I went to the phone store and found the new phone number for the phone we just bought.
And by found the new phone number, he probably means I interrogated the poor shopkeeper.
Stole the phone clerk. I think that's who this girl is that he takes. Like, he has a girl, and I'm just assuming that's where she came from.
That's a good point.
Good assumption to make.
He has a hostage. He's another blonde, even though this is not Gordon and not Dixon who's, like, dictating who's getting hostage in.
Man, on TV, it is, like, so dangerous to be a young female blonde.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And Dean's like, you don't have to kill her. Like, you're still a hunter. And Gordon, to his credit, still believes in his black and white philosophy. And he's like, I'm not a hunter anymore. I'm a monster. And I'm leaning into it.
Yeah, I liked that line. Like, no, I'm a monster. Just, he sounded so resigned.
Yeah.
He's just fully committing now.
Sam and Dean show up at the address, and they save the girl, but, like, Dean, like, carries her out, and, like, then the door comes down, so Sam gets locked in with Gordon, and the lights go out, and it's dark, and Gordon can see in the dark, and it's super scary for Sam. And Gordon's like, I lost everything to get here, but it's worth it, so I'm gonna kill Sam. And then, like, he says Sam's the worst thing he's ever hunted. And then he's like, I didn't kill the woman, but I did something worse. And that's because he turned her into a vampire, and she attacks Dean, but, like, Dean's fine, because he has the cold. It's, like, 3 seconds.
Oh, shoot. Oh, wait. That was accidental, but very clever.
Nice work, Meredith.
And then Gordon's like, I understand you now, Sam, walk around with something evil in you, but like, I'm gonna do the right thing and kill myself, which you've never been able to do. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna kill myself. It's what you should have done so long ago. And then he attacks Sam, but he doesn't do a great job because they just go through the wall. Like, they just like bust through the wall. And Gordon gets like temporarily distracted and tries to bite Dean. And he does bite Dean, actually. And then Sam like comes up behind him and grabs a piece of razor wire out of nowhere and decapitates him. It's fucking brutal. Like, oh my god. It takes like a good like 30 seconds too. Like, I can't even express the amount of strength that would be required to do this. It's insane.
It's insane. Really insane.
Like, you shouldn't be able to do that with your bare hands.
Not even on adrenaline.
Like, wild. Essentially, like, Gordon's, like, not just fighting back, but he's, like, a vampire, so he's super strong. Like, wild. Sam is a badass. Again.
Maybe it's the demon blood.
I don't even think so.
Really.
I think it's just Sam. Like, Sam was unarmed, and he took out 2 armed SWAT guys at once. Like, and without attracting attention. Like, Sam's just kind of a badass, and we don't see it, like, that often.
It takes a lot just to strangle somebody. Like, can you imagine trying to, like, chop a head off with your hands?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, he's not just strangling Gordon. Like, it's like a strangling, and then he's just like not stopping until his head goes off.
Yeah, that's why like executioner axes are heavy.
Wild.
That's why the guillotine was heavy.
They're both fine. Like, Sam's fine, Dean's fine. They got the hell beat out of them, but they're fine. And Dean, like, half jokes that Sam was the one being a little reckless to go in and, like, save him from Gordon with no weapons or anything. Like, he just, like, saw that Gordon was drinking his brother and, like, jumped on him, basically. And Sam and Dean are drinking on the side of the road, and Dean is fixing baby, which means that one of them is planning on drinking and driving, because they're both on the side of the road and they're both drinking. But Dean calls Sam over to, like, explain how to fix the car, and Sam's, like, got some car knowledge, but clearly, like, this was Dean and John's thing that he was kind of excluded from.
Yeah, this part was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, Sam's like, what is this about? Like, you never want me to help you. Back in season 2 when John died, Sam offered to help, and Dean was like, no, go away. But Dean's like, you're gonna need to know how to do this in the future. So I'm not gonna be here. And then he's like, sees that Sam gets really bummed out by that, and he's like, also, like, this is just what big brothers do, because he's trying to be Sam's brother, like Sam asked him to do. Which is so nice, and that's how the episode ends. Aside from the drinking and driving, it's a really sweet moment.
Yeah, there's a lot in that scene to discuss.
Drinking one of the 6 T's and driving while tipsy, it's fine. It's fine. The Winters just can't drink enough on the side of the road to get tipsy.
Yeah. I think they've built up a tolerance by this stage.
Yeah. MVP of the week. Let's see who everyone would like to nominate as this week's most valuable person. Let's start with Audrey.
Probably Dean, because I guess he's the one who ended up killing Gordon, and he's the one who figured out, oh crap, it was Bela who got Gordon onto their location.
Yeah,
So
Sam killed Gordon, but yeah, Dean did like confront Bela. He literally took him 3 seconds to figure it out. He's like, who knows where we are? And then he's like, he didn't even explain to Sam. He just called her.
Don't know how I forgot that Sam killed him in 3 seconds, but here we are.
I got so distracted by all the emotions in that car scene.
Honestly, yes.
I'm fine.
No, you're not. Stop lying.
No, I'm not.
Stick with you. Excellent. Francis, who would you like to nominate?
I would like to nominate Sam, just for solely that he killed Gordon.
Yep, that's fair. Meredith, how about you?
I also went with Sam because he killed Gordon. And also, he just deserves some extra points for always having to put up with the Antichrist thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also said Sam. This is 3 episodes in a row that I have nominated Sam, but like he earned it this week. I feel like I have to like clarify that I'm not showing Sam special treatment because I love him so much. But he did genuinely deserve this one.
Whatever you say.
Also, like, not only did he fight Gordon, also like Dean needed yelled at a little bit, and Sam yelled at him.
Dean could always do with a fair dose of being yelled at.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then again, so could Sam.
Yeah.
Bechdel test. So we have 2 named female characters in this episode? We did not.
We had Bela and Lucy.
Oh, we did. Okay, we had Bella and Lucy, but they didn't interact, so still
No, they
not. That's disappointing.
For the course.
We've only had like a handful that passed it, huh?
It's been pretty bleak this season, honestly.
They're pretty desperate.
Yeah. This season is not looking good. This season is looking worse than the previous 2 seasons.
It's so bad.
By virtue of having less episodes, like the more it doesn't pass, like the bigger that percentage becomes. Highlight and low light, and let's start with Francis.
I'm gonna start with my low light because I'm still thinking of a highlight in the moment. My low light was when they were having the conversation with Lucy the vampire. Those like close-up camera angles that they were doing on their faces, I just felt like 90% of them was unnecessary.
That was a signature Kim Manners move.
Which I love close-up angles. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Kim Manners is one of the best directors, in my opinion. But I just felt like there was a lot of close-up angles for that scene.
Sometimes I do wish that we just had, like, one camera. We could see them both, like, at the same time. Like, sometimes I do wish we were zoomed out. Like, we're always bouncing back and forth between their faces to get the close-up face shots. And we just don't always need it.
So that's my low light. I guess my highlight will have to be Bella's conversation with Gordon, just because of how badass she is and, like, that whole, like, you're not gonna shoot me. Oh yeah, here, give me that bag and I'll give you information. Like, I want that bag.
Or she was like, you're not gonna shoot me, you're gonna pay me. And then he was like, yeah, but $3 grand. And she was like, no.
No, definitely not.
And next time you need to negotiate literally anything, call Bela. Because she will get you like, the best terms. Honestly, amazing. Meredith, how about you?
So, low light was Gordon getting decapitated with barbed wire, because that was pretty gruesome, even by supernatural standards. The highlight was actually seeing Gordon adjust to being a vampire. I thought the way they did it was really cool. Like, the sensory overload, it was kind of relatable.
That was well done, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, relatable, yeah.
Audrey, how about you?
I agree with the low light with Francis. The scene with Lucy, I just think it was very depressing. Like, she didn't even know, like, what was really up with her. Like, she just thought she was on a high that she couldn't come off of. And I just thought, she doesn't know what's happening to her. And then they killed her, and it was just awful.
Yeah, I tried to think of literally anything that they could have done for her. Like, and I just can't think of a single thing that they could have done to help her aside from kill her. But, like, it still sucks.
Yeah,
it just, her whole situation just really sucked. And yeah, I get Dixon was desperate, but it still really sucked.
Still an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My highlight, Dean's teaching Sam to fix baby, because that was a really cute moment.
It was nice.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I get why Dean was thinking it was necessary. It was really cute.
My low light, I think my low light honestly might be that Cooper got killed. I don't like that guy at all. But I feel bad for him.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, especially the way he died. Like, damn.
And he was gonna kill his friend. Like, he was gonna do the right thing. Like,
yeah.
Gosh, Kubrick, you almost came through at the end.
Yeah, like, I think he's crazy, and I don't like people who are, like, so religiously fanatic that they read into stuff the way that he read into I should kill Sam Winchester. I don't like people who are like, God's definitely telling me to kill a person. Because that's really just definitely not been God's thing.
Have you read the Bible?
Well, I mean, yes, but, like...
Okay.
On the other hand, it's also rule number 1 of 10.
It is. Just saying, it has happened. It's just not, like, extremely common.
Just saying.
Yeah, don't kill people.
I'm just saying, don't kill people is a very easy rule to follow.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I've been alive for 28 years and I've yet to do it.
I've come close.
Oh, yeah. Customer service, am I right?
Oh my god, yes.
I have 2 highlights. I think on one hand, my highlight might be Gordon dying. I think something about like Sam killing him just, I don't know, was well done. I liked the direction that they took. I think Gordon being so convinced that Sam's the Antichrist and then Sam killing him, like, kind of like for Gordon confirms that he was right all along, but also like gets rid of Gordon. And I'm sad to see Gordon go, but again, I can't see any other way that this storyline was going to end.
Also, I just realized that because they chose like a slower method of killing him, he had to look in Sam's eyes while he died.
Yep, he had to look Sam Winchester in the eyes. And you know what? As much as he thinks that Sam's the Antichrist, Sam never would have killed him if Gordon had just left him alone.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, if Gordon had just, like, not bothered them and, like, gone on his way, like, when they, like, tied him up and left him the first time, like, none of this would have happened.
No,
Yeah.
he would still be out wreaking havoc.
Like, Gordon really did this himself. My other highlight is Sam yelling at Dean about how he knows that Dean's terrified of going to hell and dying, and he just wants his brother to be his brother again. Like, I think Jared's acting in that scene was very good.
Oh, definitely.
And, you know, sometimes we don't always see the best acting from Jared. This was not an episode. Jared was good throughout. But in those two particular scenes, he was really good.
I really liked the line that he said, "I wish you would drop the show and be my brother again."
Yeah,
I like that.
Exactly.
That was a good one.
Yes, emotions.
Our next one is, actually, I totally skipped over mythology.
Oh, I forgot you did that.
I missed it by one in my notes. So this week was vampires. We almost tapped out on vampire lore, but Meredith said that she had something for us.
Yeah, well, the fun thing about vampires is that there's like a million different stories about them, and I thought I would share a fun vampire anecdote unrelated to the events of this episode. So, there's an island in the Venetian lagoon in Italy called Lazzaretta Nuovo. In 2005, archaeologists discovered the grave of a suspected vampire. They found the skeleton of an old woman with a brick in her jaws. It sounds really freaky, and it is, but it's an old tactic meant to keep vampires from eating their shrouds and escaping their graves. During the bubonic plague in the late 15th century, people thought that the plague was brought on by trade ships coming from the east, so all crew and passengers from these trade ships were quarantined on islands in the Venetian lagoon, including Lazzaretta Nuovo. The islands eventually became enormous mass graves. Some people thought that vampires caused the plague, and others believed that the excess of fresh corpses attracted vampires. So paranoia was high at the time, and many people were suspected of vampirism, hence the lady with the brick in her jaws. So there's a very common link between illness and vampirism. Many female victims of tuberculosis in the 19th century were suspected of becoming vampires after death and coming back to feed on their families. This is really just people not understanding the transition of illness or the decomposition of bodies, though it does make for some pretty cool legends. So, in conclusion, bricks are a great way to deal with vampires.
That was sure, it was cool. Like it.
Thank you.
I mean, typically, if I think of a brick dispatching a vampire, the brick is being thrown at the vampire, but that works too.
Yeah. I mean, you can do both if you want.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to be extra safe when it comes to vampires.
Just throw the brick. Now I've thrown him off his rhythm.
Oh gosh, he sparkles, throw!
I don't think there's anything for call CPS in this episode. Not a child in sight, which is always a good day in the supernatural universe.
Go ahead. I was going to say, Dean is a child. He's John and Mary's child, and he's being very reckless. So I think we need to call CPS on him.
Unfortunately, CPS will not let you call them for 28-year-olds.
We can dream, right?
Said the 28-year-old.
Shut up.
I mean, I concur.
Maybe a good segue into a mental health check. I'm not a psychologist. This segment is based purely on my own opinions. Be clear-minded if you're struggling with anything at all. Please reach out for help. This week, Dean really takes up the suicidal stupidness to a new level.
Yes.
He was extremely reckless in this episode. But you know what? He also got called out for it, which is always good.
Yeah, that's why we keep around. No.
I don't know how much more we can talk about how suicidal Dean is in this season. Like, every single episode is just Dean is wanting to die and he's too cavalier about it and he takes dumb risks. Every single episode this season has been that, and we're like we're past the halfway point of the season now. Like, we're like pretty much at the halfway point. Like, next episode will be the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, it's not news at this point.
Like, I just don't know how much else to say about it. And then, of course, we paralleled all this with Dixon, who's like, my daughters are dead, and I feel dead inside, and I'd like to die now. And then they kill him. Like,
okay.
Like, okay, that's like a little on the nose, Sarah Gamble.
That was like a mercy kill.
It's a little bit much. The firing squad. Is there anybody who did not perform their job in this episode? Police, security guards, public servants, customer service, retail. I'm just saying, whoever's like doing like the dancing at the club, like this is clearly like these girls are like going missing from this club, and no, there's not enough security. Like, they're not doing traditional drugs, but like they are like meeting girls at a club and like promising them drugs and like taking them outside to do drugs, and like that is unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do drugs, kids.
And
especially not when old 30-years give them to you.
Like,
oh my god.
Like, don't do it, but if you're gonna do it, like, be safe. Like,
but it's only okay if it's in a supervised like place and like you're being safe about it.
Be safe about your drugs, guys.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Get them from
Old
a
30-year-olds
pharmacist.
handing out safe drugs to 20-year-olds. It's fine.
Good thing there aren't any 20-year-olds here.
Yeah.
Soul transactions, none. Sam's been a injury, also none. Sam's had a good streak, I think, of not having his head bashed in.
Yeah, he was very conscious this episode.
Heads were a very important part of this episode.
Yeah.
But not
So
Sam's.
maybe he was thinking about it.
I think Dean was the only one that got thrown into a wall.
Yeah, that's true. And it was brief. It was a brief throw, and he recovered, and he had the Colts, and he was fine.
Yeah.
There you go. You might have a concussion, but you have the Colt, so it's great.
I have a blood loss from Gordon trying to drink him. It's fine.
You can hug the Colt in the hospital.
You're concussed and you're slightly anemic now, but go ahead.
Yay, you've got a gun.
It's a pretty gun.
Shiny.
From Samuel Colt himself.
Let's hug that antique. It'll keep you safe.
If it's an antique, does that mean it's about 30?
Yeah.
Oh,
Clearly.
jeez.
It's definitely not from the 1800s.
Yeah. No kidding.
So we haven't named the episode yet. We gotta name it. Anyone have any name suggestions for this episode?
The one with all the gross fake blood.
With the jelly hand.
Jelly hand, yes.
I was gonna say the one with the barbed wire, but like I think the jelly hand sounds weirder out of context.
The one with the jelly hand.
Francis, did you have a suggestion?
No, I think Meredith is good, the one with the jelly hand.
That's pretty good.
Thank you for your observations, Audrey.
No problem, anytime.
I want to name it the one where Sam is super strong, but I think that isn't specific. Like, Sam's just a strong dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he really, apparently is
Yeah.
usually strong.
Multiple episodes.
I don't know, maybe Ed and KJ will disagree with me, but I'm inclined to agree with Meredith. I think Jelly Hand might be the winner.
No problem.
Let's do line of the week, and let's start with Francis.
Okay, I have one and then an honorable mention one.
Okay.
So my favorite line of the week is Bella's, where she says, "I don't get out of bed for $3,000 because yes, queen, why would we?" And then the honorable mention is when Lucy says he was old, like 30, because you just have to talk about that one because it's gross, honestly.
So funny.
Yeah, I mean, 1 foot in the grave. Yeah, that's us. Yeah.
Honestly accurate, though, to sometimes how it feels when you're young. Like, I remember being in high school and thinking 30 was very old.
I remember being 12 and I wanted like to create like an adult villain, so I made him 22.
Oh my
Now
god.
I look at him and I'm like, you are a tragedy, you child.
Now that you've surpassed 22, you're like, oh boy.
I'm only like a year past 22, but I think that's very sad. I don't feel like an adult.
I'm currently 22, barely. My birthday is like around the corner. And like, I can confirm that 22 is a baby. Like, I'm a baby with a job in my own apartment, but still a baby.
I'm a child, but I pay taxes.
Audrey, do you have a line of the week?
I also have 2. The one I mentioned earlier, I wish you would drop the show and be my brother again.
No, so
But
sweet.
I also really did like Gordon saying, "No, I'm a monster." Just again, his tone and the resignation, like, wow, damn, Sterling.
Right? Like I said this when he was first introduced, but like Sterling K. Brown adds so much to what could have been like a very, very flat, stereotypical villain.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna go watch This Is Us.
Oh my god, he's amazing
so
in This Is
good.
Us. Yeah.
Such a good actor. Meredith.
Oh yeah, a line of the week, everything that comes out of Bella's mouth.
So true.
So great.
Did you have anything specific, or did you just want to go with Bella?
Just Bella, yep.
I accept that answer. I didn't pick a specific Bella one, because Gordon goes, Sam Winchester is the Antichrist, and Bella goes, I've heard something about that. She goes, I've heard it from my good friend, the Easter Bunny, who heard it from the Tooth Fairy. Are you off your meds? And I don't love the mental health shaming and like the stigmatization of medication, but also like Gordon be crazy.
Yes.
Gordon is off the rails. Like,
Oh yeah.
he really truly believes in his heart that Sam Winchester is the Antichrist. And to be fair, he's actually like maybe not wrong, but like if you talk to Sam Winchester for 3 seconds, it's very clear that Sam Winchester's just like a dorky little guy.
Like, basically what Bella was saying.
That man is a teddy bear
A giant one.
that kills
Yeah.
people.
Literally last week, Bella was like, I get why Dean's giving me attitude, but like, Sam, why are you giving me attitude? I feel like you literally shot me. Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm a little bitter, okay?
What if she says, oh, right? But, I raised you. Don't be dramatic about it.
Don't be dramatic.
Tis a
Don't be
flesh
dramatic
wound.
that I taught you.
Get over it.
Baby.
I love Bela so much, and I love Sterling K. Brown, and I'm so glad that they were in 2 episodes together. But yeah, that's it for this week. So, Meredith, where can people find you?
With the Antichrist at Shades of Dayanira on Tumblr, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you go there, you'll see lots of really cool drawings for the fantasy series I'm writing. This isn't the one with the 22-year-old villain.
Are you hanging out with Sam or are you hanging out with Jack?
Both. Depends on the day.
Audrey, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at StareApparent. I haven't posted in a bit, but you can still read my old, weird, complaining tweets. It's fine.
It's great. She's full of so many witticisms.
And Francis, where can people find you?
I am on Twitter as Destiel1993 and TikTok and Instagram as LetItBeLove_93, where I post some supernatural content, and I am trying to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok so I can live stream.
Ooh, how close are you?
Cool.
I am almost at 600, so we're
okay.
kind
We're
of getting
climbing.
there.
We're climbing. Okay. I would love that. So I will. I'll make sure to send some people your direction.
Please, thank you.
Next week we are going to be talking about a very supernatural Christmas.
I've been KJ, and this has been Supernatural Opinions. If you enjoyed our show, the best thing you can do is subscribe on your podcast app of choice and tell a friend. Check out our link tree in the episode description for all of our social media and any other supernatural-related products we might be working on. Send us an email. Our address is supernaturalopinionspodcast@gmail.com, or reach out directly at KJ at @KJ on all platforms. Thank you to Joe Veretta for our theme song, and our logo was created by Faith Ebert of faithanddesigns.ca. The episode was recorded, edited, and produced by me, Ed and KJ. If you want to hear more from me, you can check out my other podcast, Series of Opinions. And last but not least, a huge thank you to all of our guests.
Some things in this world are supernatural. What we need is a savior.